Hello BookTube, hello friends, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and in today's video we're going to talk about all of the cozy mystery series that I am reading right now. Now some of these I started a long time ago, even before I knew about BookTube or was ever on BookTube, and quite a few of them I have started since joining BookTube, and almost all of them I have talked about at least one time or another on my channel. So if you've been following me for a while, most of these you will have heard me talk about these, even if it's to say that I need to read the next one and then I still haven't. But I do hope to get to most of these series during March Mystery Madness. Now I've already done a video updating you on my Stack the Series challenge, which I call my 20 by 20 challenge. I started it last year and I gave myself 3 years to finish 20 stacks of books, and some of the stacks are categories of books, and so 2 of the categories have to do with cozy mysteries. My stack of 14 are the 14 cozy mystery series that I am currently reading and that I most want to finish. I have started a few other series that I've read one of. I have several series that I want to start, but these 14 are the ones that I've either made the most progress in or have the most desire to continue at this point. I also want to briefly mention my number 4 stack, because each year during this project I am allowing myself to start no more than 4 cozy mystery series. Now there's a couple of exceptions to that, because I do like to participate with a couple of online cozy mystery book clubs which generally read first in series, like the Book One Cozies Club hosted by Di, right on our Mystery Madness Goodreads group, and then Courtney the Cortagonist and Angela from Books on My Heart started a cozy mystery book club last year, and they typically read first in series. So I don't read what they're reading every month, but occasionally they do pick up a book or a series that I'm really interested in reading, and so that's a good motivation to go ahead and try that series out. But for today we're going to focus on what I most want to work on, and so this will inevitably be most of my TBR for March Mystery Madness. So today I want to just show you a picture of the first book in each series, and then when I actually do my TBR video I will show you the actual book that I'm on and what challenge it's going to meet, and we'll go from there. There's at least 4 or 5 of these series that I started reading before BookTube. I started reading the Hannah Swenson Baking Mystery series by Joanne Fluke on my sister's recommendation, and I never looked back. I have listened to all of these on audio, and they are narrated by Suzanne Torin. I have enjoyed most of them. I got mad at a couple of them. It's just been a really fun series. It doesn't always go the way you want it to go, but it's been a very interesting ride over the past several years, and I don't even remember what year I started reading them. I was completely caught up as of this month, but each February is usually when she introduces a new book. So there is a new one coming out. If I can get my hands on the audio for March Mystery Madness, I will. But the first book is The Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder, and this series is about a woman who is single. She owns her own cookie bakery and inevitably ends up finding people who have been murdered, and generally when she finds them they have been eating something that she baked. So a lot of times she has to clear her own name, which I think is typical of a lot of cozy mystery series, and it's just been a really fun series, and I think if you enjoy cozy mysteries then this is a really good place to start. There's also some awesome recipes, and I even own the cookbook. So check out the series. Start with Chocolate Chip Cookie Murder, and I hope you enjoy it. Another series that I started quite a while back is the Kelly Flynn Knitting Mysteries by Maggie Sefton. I got my sister started on these, and I think she is a lot more caught up than I am. I do plan to read one of these for March Mystery Madness. I think I'm on book 10. I enjoyed the first 5 or 6 much more than the later ones, but I'm still going to keep reading it. I am a finisher, as you guys know. My sister has really enjoyed the series, and so her and I are sort of buddy reading it, I guess. Not really, but kind of. We're both reading the series, and so I do want to continue reading that one. It is about a young woman who goes to Colorado to take care of her aunt's estate, and her aunt wills her a cottage which is connected to a yarn shop. So rather than sell the cottage, she ends up living there, moving there. Her job can be done mostly on the internet. I believe she's an accountant, and it's just a very good series. It really makes you want to go to a yarn store and just start touching all the yarn and finding the softest yarn available, because she talks about how she goes through the yarn store and sees all the colors and just can't keep her hands off. It sort of makes me want to knit, but more than anything, it just makes me want to go to look at yarn. Another cozy mystery author that I started reading quite a while ago is Laura Childs. I read the first book in her scrapbooking series quite a few years ago, and I've been collecting the series, but for some reason I have just had a hard time picking it up, much like my own scrapbooking. I have not done much scrapbooking of late either. And then I decided to go ahead and start her tea shop mysteries, and I've read 2 of those, so that's the series I will most likely continue with this year for March Mystery Madness. I'm on book 3 now. Hopefully by this point I'm showing you a picture of the first book. This is a series about Theodosia Browning, and she owns a tea shop, and the stories revolve around her and her employees and their shop. I have found the books to be very slow-paced, but also very entertaining. So if you enjoy tea, I think you will enjoy the books. You do learn a little bit about the different types of tea and making tea and steeping tea properly and things like that are woven into the stories, and I find them very enjoyable. A series I started reading with my husband quite a few years ago is the #1 Ladies Detective Agency by Alexander McCall Smith. I believe I'm ready for book 12 now. My husband has read most of them right along with me, and we have both enjoyed Precious Remote's Way and her Words of Wisdom. As far as mysteries go, they're on the lighter side of mysteries, but they're just full of good humor and wisdom, and I absolutely love the series. We watched part of the HBO series, checked out from the library, and we would have watched all of it, but the DVDs that we had skips in them, so we had to abandon that until we could get another copy, and we just haven't gone back to revisit that. And then another series that my husband and I have been reading, and hopefully will finish this year, is the Cat Who books by Lillian Jackson Braun. We're on number 20-something, and we'll probably read the next one during March Mystery Madness. I have thoroughly enjoyed the series. I've heard that the last few books were written by someone else after Lillian Jackson Braun had passed away, and I think we are into those books now, because the last 2 or 3 that we've read have not been quite as good as the earlier books, but still very enjoyable. I think what I love the most about the Cat Who series are the characters. The main character, Jim Quillerin, has just a wonderful wry sense of humor, and his banter back and forth with the other characters is just really great. So if you like a book with whimsical, quirky characters, then the Cat Who series is definitely a good choice. The next series I want to talk about is the Fresh Baked Mysteries by Olivia J. Washburn. I may have read the first one of these before starting BookTube. In fact, I think I did. And then I believe I read the second book during the first March Mystery Madness. I'll show you a picture of the first book. It was called A Peach of a Murder, I believe. It centers around a group of retired school teachers all living together in a house. 2 of the ladies are quite the rivals when it comes to baking. They tend to have a variety of baking contests that they enter and are competing against one another. There is quite a good camaraderie between the residents of the house, and because my parents were both teachers, my siblings are both retired educators, and my education is also in education. So I was very attracted to the series. It's maybe not the best cozy mystery series out there, but if you have an interest in teachers and retired teachers, then you might enjoy it for that. And there are also some recipes that go along with the baking theme of the series. Another series I started just a few years ago, it's a bit on the paranormal side, which I don't read a lot of, but I have thoroughly been enjoying the Aunt Dimity series. I don't think I've read any of them in the last couple of years, but I really do want to pick up the next one. I have collected the first 20 in the series. In this series, a young American woman named Lori goes to the UK to take care of her aunt's estate, and finds when she gets there that she has inherited a cottage. And through a series of events, she discovers that she can communicate with her aunt who has passed away through journals and writing. Her aunt can make writing appear in different places and give her clues and messages to the mysteries that are happening in the series. So it's very interesting. I would classify it as paranormal light because really the messages from Aunt Dimity are few and far between, especially in the first book. But the series mainly centers around Lori and people she meets and people she has dealings with, and then she ends up moving to the UK, and it's very entertaining, and I really would like to get to one or more in the series again this year. Another series that my sister recommended, and I finally got around to reading the first one maybe year before last, and I really need to get on to reading the next one because I really enjoyed the first one. That is The Southern Sewing Circle Mysteries by Elizabeth Lynn Casey. It's about a librarian who is new in town. She's now in the South, but she's from the North, so she's having a hard time getting accepted and becoming a part of the community, but she's invited to join the sewing circle, much to the chagrin of a few of the members, and it just goes from there. It has a bit of a library theme, a bit of a sewing theme, and I really enjoyed the series. I identified completely with the main character because she reminded me of me when I first set out on my career in a new area, a new state, and experienced some of the same things that she did. So I definitely want to continue the series, and hopefully I'll get to one of those in the month of March as well. My problem is that I don't think any of them are available on audio. Usually the ones that I can find on audio, I can speed through a lot quicker, and it's much harder for me to get to print books because I have so many print books that I want to read, but we'll see how it goes. I have several guidepost series and guidepost mysteries that I've collected. Some were gifts from people and others I've collected at book sales. And one of those series I started a couple of years ago. I have been gradually chinking away at it, and that is the Patchwork Mysteries. They have a variety of authors, but the series centers around a quilt restorer, which I find fascinating. I really enjoy seeing what type of quilt she is restoring in each book. And then usually the mysteries are not murders, but they are centered around whatever quilt she is working on. Sometimes other things will happen and the quilt will give her a clue to how to solve the other mystery. It's just very fascinating. I thoroughly love it. So I can't wait to get to another one of those. A few other series I've started that I have been able to find on audio. One is The Coffee House Mysteries by Cleo Coyle. I think I have listened to 2 of those. Those are available on Hoopla. It centers around a woman who is managing a coffee shop with her ex-husband because the mother of the ex-husband is the owner, and she talks her into coming back and running the shop for her, not realizing that she had also invited her son to come back and help with the shop too. She's kind of hoping to get them back together, and who knows, maybe they will. I have enjoyed the 2 that I've read so far, so I hope to get to another one of those in March as well. Another series that I just started, I think last year, is the Vintage Kitchen Mysteries, and those are by Victoria Hamilton. Several of those are on audio on Hoopla, so I can get those through my library. Since my major in college was home economics education, and my mom and my sister both taught home economics, I have always been interested in kitchen type things, especially vintage kitchen items. I have several vintagey things that I brought from my mother's house, and I've always been interested in kitschy kind of things. So I found this series fascinating, and I'm hoping that each of the books will continue to be entertaining, and I will learn more and more about vintage kitchen items. I already learned something from the first book because I didn't know what a Hoosier was, and if you don't know either, you can look it up. But it was really a fun first book, and I hope to listen to the second one very soon. Another series that is actually Christian based and is not really cozy, but because it's a Christian mystery, you could probably classify it as such. It's by Gilbert Morris. The series goes by 2 different names, the Danielle Ross Mysteries, and there's 6 of those, or the Danny Ross Mysteries, and there's 4 of those. I still haven't figured out exactly which books are the same because I thought that they both went in the same order, and it was the same book, just different titles. But when I got to the second book, I discovered that they were totally different. So I'm going to have to read both of the series, and then hopefully maybe I can get a Goodreads librarian to help correct it on Goodreads, because I discovered that the series is not described correctly on Goodreads. But the series starts out with a woman who is helping to take over her father's detective business, and then she's kidnapped and being held with several other people in a silo, and they don't know who their kidnapper is at first, and they don't know why each of these particular people are being held there, and you find out as the story goes along. The second book I didn't enjoy quite as much, but it's not that long of a series, and because I'm curious to find out which books are which and get it corrected on Goodreads, I do plan to go ahead and finish the series, if for no other reason other than that. And then two other series that I am reading electronically. One I'm currently reading right now, and that is the Spencer Funeral Home Niagara Cozy Mystery Series by Janice J. Richardson. I'm currently reading book 3 right now, called A Grave Mistake. So I probably won't get any farther than that book in the series for March Mystery Madness, but I do want to keep chinking away at those and hopefully finish that series and get caught up with it by the end of this year. It's about a young woman who inherits a funeral home from her uncle and all of the things that entails, and it's very fascinating. I have really enjoyed the series, and I would recommend it if that sounds interesting to you. And then another series I have been listening to on audio. I was contacted by the author, Barbara Venkataraman, a couple of years ago, and she gave me the first 3 on audio. So I think for March Mystery Madness, I'm going to listen to those again because I have them in my Audible library. And then hopefully very soon I will go ahead and purchase book 4 and move on through that series as well. It is a legal mystery. The lawyer is Jamie Quinn, and at the beginning of the series she is doing some soul searching about really what she wants to do with the rest of her life. She's not a criminal lawyer, but she gets roped into a criminal case to help a relative. There's a special needs character in that first book, and I thought that the author did a very good job with that character. Those first 3 books are very short. I think you can purchase them all as one bundle, and if that sounds interesting to you, then I would recommend it. So I think that is all 14 of the Cozy Mystery series that are listed on my stack of 14 as part of my Stack the Series challenge, or my 20 by 20 challenge as I call it. So let me briefly mention to you the 4 series I started last year that are on my stack of 4. And I have not decided yet what 4 series I'm going to start this year. I have 2 that are top of the list, and we'll just see how it goes from there. So last year I started the Mr. Monk series by Lee Goldberg, and then this year I listened to the first one again and went right on into the second book. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I am definitely planning to read the third book for March Mystery Madness because it has the word blue in the title and there's blue on the cover. And then I also started the Crochet series by Betty Hechtman. I listened to the first one of those on audio and really enjoyed it, so I'm hoping to get to at least the second and maybe the third book during March Mystery Madness. And I also started the Haunted Yarn Shop Mysteries by Molly McRae. The first one was called Last Will and Testament. I really enjoyed it a lot more than I expected to, because again, I don't read a lot of paranormal stuff, and there was a ghost in that story, but I loved the ghost. It was so funny. I can't wait to listen to another one of those. I even sent my physical copy of the first book to my sister because I said, I really think you're going to enjoy this. It's just a lot of fun. And then I had a different one picked out to start last year, but I bumped it to this year because I needed to read a mystery last year for March Mystery Madness that was written by a celebrity, because that was a challenge I was working on at my public library. So I had to combine March Mystery Madness with finishing up that library challenge, so I chose to start the Soap Opera Mysteries by Eileen Davidson, who is a star of Young and the Restless. I really enjoyed the first book, and so I have picked up the second book at a thrift store, and I would like to get to that during March Mystery Madness as well. I started a couple of Amish Cozy Mysteries last year, but I'm going to save book 2 of both of those series for Amish in April, which will be coming up in April. And then a couple of series I started as part of the online Cozy Mystery book clubs. One of the series was the year-round Christmas mysteries. I read book 1 in 2018, and then I read book 2 in January of this year. So I'm not worried about making any more progress in that series until this coming Christmas, but I did read the first Bookmobile Cat mystery for Courtney's book club, and I am interested in reading the next one of those. I can get that on audio on Hoopla, so that may be one that I pick up for March Mystery Madness as well. So the two I have so far for my list of 4 to start this year are the Someday Quilts mysteries by Claire O'Donoghue. I don't think those are on audio, and I don't know if I'll get to one of those in March Mystery Madness, but at some point this year I would like to start that series. And then another one I would like to start that I can get on audio is the Kate Shackleton mysteries by Frances Brody. Catherine from Jane Catherine on Books sent me, I think, book 7 in that series, and you guys know how I am about going in order. So I found that the first one, called Dying in the Wool, is on audio on Hoopla, so I'm definitely planning to pick that up for March Mystery Madness. My friend Elizabeth Wooten, who a lot of times comments to my videos, is reading that one for March Mystery Madness, and she is able to make it count for all 5 of the challenges. She said there may even be a hint of a wedding coming, so it might count for all 6. So that's awesome, and I definitely want to pick that up and see if that's a series that I want to pursue. So you'll be hearing more about that one as I read it. Now, I have started other Cozy Mystery series as a result of the Book One Cozies Club and other series over the years, and at some point maybe I will get to more of those, but for now this is enough to focus on. So very soon I will be posting my March Mystery Madness TBR, and I will show you the specific books in each of these series that I plan to read and what challenges they will meet on the bingo that I just introduced and the March Mystery Madness prompts. So stay tuned for that video. Meanwhile, let me know if you have read any of these series that I am currently reading, and which ones you liked, which ones you didn't, and which ones you might like to start. So that's all I have for this video. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.